Hi everyone, welcome my beautiful angels, welcome on my channel. It's Peaceful Paradise 7. Today I really want to discuss or open up, if you like, a conversation about whether you're supposed to go to bed with any man, any stranger man, even your boyfriends, or whether you're supposed to actually wait until the marriage day. I 100% know that this conversation is not going to be easy. I know a lot of women probably wouldn't agree with me. They would call me old, like old-fashioned. But I still feel like I want to go ahead and do that video, and I want to give you like my examples of why I feel the way I feel about it. And I also hope that this is gonna help at least some women to get out of this toxic sleeping with everyone mentality because somebody told you that this is good for you. So please subscribe to my channel and leave me the comment below and tell me what you think about it. Would you sleep with somebody before marriage? Have you done it? Are you regretting it? Was it good and you're still gonna do it? I really want to know from you ladies, what do you think about it? I'm hoping this is going to be an open conversation from my heart. I don't want to criticize anybody and I don't want to judge anyone. I just hope that we gonna get some mutual agreement on that matter, okay? So it actually took me a while. I was always thinking of doing that video, but I thought maybe I will never do it because this is not the topic I want to discuss. Until I saw a documentary online, I was absolutely shocked. I can't remember what was the name of it. I've actually seen it quite a few good weeks ago. And what happened was a lot of different female, they've been working very hard, they got the house, they would allow their partners, boyfriends, I don't even know if I can call them that way. They were just like bunch of different guys who were using and abusing women. So let's say she would go to work, she would work very hard, like 12, 13 hours or 14 hours shift. She would go back home, she had to cook and clean, and all he would be doing all day is either play his games or seeing his friends or doing absolutely nothing to help her, nothing to contribute towards finances. They would even have a baby or two or more together, and he would just do absolutely nothing, blaming her for everything in his life, saying that she was a bit, and I'm not gonna swear, but you know what I'm saying. And I was just stunned. I was shocked, okay? So I was just shocked, completely and utterly in shock. And I realized there's still women like this even in today's date. You know, we've got internet, we have YouTube, we have so many channels and courses to learn how not to be stupid, not let anybody take an advantage of us. But I think it's still common for girls. And then I started to remind myself that even when I was studying, I've seen a lot of situations like this. Sometimes it wasn't as apparent, sometimes it was less apparent, but the guy would be doing exactly the same. So they would be just living together very casually, he would make her pregnant, or even not, or even she would have kids from different relationship, and he would be just living with her, paying her just small money as he would be kind of renting the room, but even renting the room would cost him much more than what he was contributing towards that. And from my point of view, the guy was doing absolutely nothing. When I would talk to them women, I'm like, what are you getting out of this situation? They would say, I've got my man and I've got my emotional support from him. Emotional support? And those would be women who always dream of having a beautiful wedding and having a right husband for them and just getting that, you know, white house with white fence and living happy ever after. But they just wouldn't have a clue what they're doing wrong. So what would happen was they would still blame a man. They would date several men at the same time, actually sleeping with them and doing all sorts of different things, getting themselves pregnant, blaming men for what happened to them, and then the story would repeat itself all over again. And obviously when the children are involved in this matter, this is a disaster.
Created, and I started to realize that hookup culture was really toxic for me and not helpful. When I would wake up the next day from a guy, let's say that I went over on Netflix and chilled, or went out to the club and he was my weekend bae that I would always like go home with. When I woke up in the morning and I didn't get a certain text from him or the amount of attention that I really wanted for that next progression, it started to make me realize that indulging in hookup culture isn't getting me anywhere. Hooking up with him didn't help me get anything. I didn't actually gain anything from it. Hookup culture teaches you in society that it's for your liberation as well as a woman. You're going to feel so much better about yourself. You should have the ability to sleep with whoever you want or hook up with whoever you want. And although that is true, I think that there's a lot of downfalls to participating in hookup culture that a lot of us women are not being aware of, or the conversations are not being had. Some women in society, they normalize hookup culture to their friends. Of course, men do the same thing. And it's time for us to be very, very real with the fact that hookup culture does affect us.
In my opinion, for everyone's sake, but especially for your own health and especially for your own mental health, physical health, I mean, you name it, what I'm gonna say will probably shock you, but I don't think we should be sleeping with the guys before the marriage. Yes, I said that. I know it's not easy to hear it, but stop it. Stop sleeping with those random guys because a feminist or somebody has told you that this is your right, it's your right to be free, it's your right to explore it's your right. And I'm like,
sexual encounters is not something a sex-positive feminist who used to write a column for Playboy is supposed to admit. And for years, I didn't. See, again here, Bridget is definitely not a conservative, and in no way, shape, or form in this piece is she saying that she believes that the right approach to sex is, to wait until marriage and only sleep with one person in your entire life. And
in the social media, the feminists and actually a lot of women will tell this lie to another woman to sleep with random dudes because she will feel freedom. Now, bring me any woman who has done that and feel liberated. I'm telling you, there is none. None, not even single one of those women you can see on TikTok, you can see on Instagram, telling you that you need to sleep with those men. One video they're gonna tell you this, the second video they're gonna be crying their eyes saying that men don't respect me, they sexualize all the women, men need to start respecting me because this is my bloody right as a female. I'm like,
tired of being disappointed by men. I'm so tired of getting hurt.
Yeah, deep down she will feel like she's broke. She always felt, yes, now it's my time to use the guy, and after she's done what she had to, now she feels that she's been used and abused. And every time she's doing this more and more and more, it creates the feeling of losing respect to yourself.
Of 8 months, almost a year, we've known each other for a year now, straight up ghosted me.
In my opinion, a man claims you his by going on one knee, giving you a social security, family security, when he's proud to make you his and say, yes, I take you as my wife in front of like 20, 50, 100 people. You're mine, he says. You're only his woman. You don't belong to anybody else. He's not testing you. He's not trying whether you're good enough or not good enough. Have you ever noticed, and this is so popular these days, that a woman will move into a guy's house, or even God forbid the other way around, she would have a beautiful house and she would allow the guy who doesn't have anything to move in with her and doing absolutely nothing, just because she can say she's got a boyfriend and maybe one day he's gonna propose. In a lot of different scenarios, what happened is they would be living together, she would do everything that the wife's supposed to be doing, he would be getting all the wifey treatment, she would be cooking, cleaning, tending to his needs, sleeping with him, getting to know his family, helping his family, and then realizing after a few years that he's not even want to propose to her. Or he's still not ready, he's still thinking about it, he needs to get his financial together, he needs to do this right, he needs to think about it. How would you feel? Because in my opinion, if that would ever happen to me, I would feel like I've been used and abused for so many years and he's not even ready to claim me his. What is also gonna happen, once you move in without the ring, without getting married, it will show you that you are cheap. It shows that you have no boundaries, you have no values, you just allow for kind of any man to walk into your life, he doesn't have to claim you, he can just be his bloody best self and he can move in. Listen to this. If a man doesn't invest in you, he doesn't value you. This is how our brain works, this is how the man brain works. All he needs to do is inviting you for dinner, telling you sweet, beautiful words, and you're already thinking about him as your future or whatever, that just shows how desperate you are. And sometimes you don't even have to say it. I always say men have this instinct around women. They can grasp whether she is desperate or not, whether she is ready for something or not. I mean, the word sometimes doesn't even matter, okay? You can say to a guy different things. He has the intuition that we're supposed to be having. But these days, everything is like the other way around. Women, they completely lost their intuition because they've been actually abused too much. They didn't have time to heal. They don't actually know what they're doing wrong. All they can do right now, they can blame men for being baskets and not even looking like what I'm doing wrong in this situation. Am I supposed to act like this? Am I supposed to dress like this? Am I supposed to swear like this? So if you are the one who is paying for everything, for like a house, bills, child, your child, his child, he's getting you for free, you are no value to him. You have a zero value to this man. And sorry if I'm upsetting a few of you. I hope I don't upset you too much, but maybe this is what's needed in this world to shake up some women, because this is absolutely crazy what's happening. And what I also see in a lot of those situations, when the guy would be having a free ride, she would be helping him to build. By saying helping him build, I am not talking about when you married and he's providing for everything. You feel secure, he has your back, and then you are helping him to grow. That's a different story. That's a different story, and different when you have a boyfriend and you're just allowing him to have you for free, and you're trying to bring him up. You're trying to give him everything without getting anything in return. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. And then what would usually be happening, once the man is ready, he has built up his career, he has some savings, he has everything put together, he will leave. Either he already has a woman on the side, or he's looking for one that he can claim his wife, or he can claim like his prize, somebody he can conquer, somebody he can feel like he had to earn. I feel like if the man is not your husband, he is a stranger to you. Because anybody can tell you any nice words these days. He can promise you the world. I can promise you the world. And I can do absolutely nothing in return. Have you watched that? There was a film, very popular. Everybody was keep talking about the... Everybody was keep talking about it. The guy, I think it's called Tinder Swindler, something like that. I mean, I was shocked how women would send thousands and thousands of pounds to that stranger guy, okay? But notice, he had so many women. He knew exactly who he's supposed to be target at, and he didn't marry even one of them. I don't even think the marriage was on the table. And they never say to him that in order for him to claim that I'm yours, I want to see the ring. Like, this is my requirement, okay? I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking for a husband. That's what people are supposed to be saying. Rather than this, I don't know. People are just... to me, it feels like we are so lonely, we are so desperate, and we are so confused these days. We're gonna tolerate any sort of behavior. Yeah, so your self-worth is already so low that you feel like you need to give this man more and more in order for him to love you. You are begging for his love. You are auditioning. You want to show him, look how good I am, how free I am. I can sleep with you anytime I want. I can do anything for you. Just pick me. When I see women auditioning to the guys, something really, like, my heart is exploding. Back in the days, I could see women half naked, going out 10 o'clock, coming back 6, 7 in the morning, puking on the street. All the young, beautiful girls, there was nothing wrong with how they looked. There was nothing wrong with, there was nothing wrong with them, apart from the fact that they don't have a self-respect. And I think what's the problem these days is nobody's gonna tell them stop. Nobody's saying to those women, like, flipping stop and look at yourself. See what's happening around you. Is that what you're doing is right or wrong? Going out with stranger guys, going out to his place, sleeping after first, second, third, fourth days. I mean, in order to save us, somehow someone said, okay, at least wait 3 months. At least wait 3 months until you're gonna sleep with him. And I think that should be 3, 5, 6, 7, or 10 months. You're supposed to date until he is ready to propose. When he's proposing, that means he wants to take you off the market. He's gonna claim you, yes, you're my wife, and this is the time after getting married, this sacred moment when you're giving yourself to this man. But can you see the difference when you know for a fact he wants to really provide for you? Because you've discussed that, you spoke about it beforehand. He is looking after you. He's claiming you to the entire village, entire city, entire Facebook and Instagram. This is my woman, and everybody go away, right? He's giving you at least that sort of respect. Comparing to a guy who doesn't give a shit about you. He doesn't care whether you're going to be used and abused, whether your heart's going to be broken. He doesn't care for you. And you're giving yourself to that man and then expecting him to treat you well? I don't want to talk about God too much because that has nothing to do with the religion, but everything to do with how we present ourselves and what we're getting out of the situation. But let me tell you that God has designed a life for you in Him. He has created you on His image. And Bible is like our manual. This is our instruction when we can always go and take some information of how we can live once we lost our way, okay? And if you believe that the God is your designer, I mean, even if you don't believe in God, you probably believe in something. Even if you believe in science, you probably also believe that something has created you. And it was so clever. Like, if you can imagine, we all have our bodies. I can move my hand is doing exactly what I want it to do. I can walk, I can talk, I'm actually free spirit. I can literally do what I want to do. I can eat my food, and 10 million cells within my body will dictate what's gonna happen to that food. I mean, you don't have to think how to breathe, you don't have to think how to digest your food. If you want to tell me that whoever created us didn't have a clue what they're doing, that's scary, okay? That is scary. Because if you see how perfect we are as a human being, like how perfect the nature is, how perfect everything correlates with one another, and how we're responding to everything. This is not just coincidence. Everything has been done in a perfect connection with one another. And it was the same for male and female. We have been designed to love one another, to thrive, to succeed, to love and support, not to hate and destroy our body and souls. But when you don't know how to use something, you're gonna abuse it. And because people don't really believe in God right now, they free spirit, they don't even know whether they men or female, whether, word is so lost. I feel like the word is lost right now. That's why we need the God more than ever, because otherwise, once we go too far away, there is literally no coming back, okay? If you believe that the God has created you to live a certain way, we know from the great instruction manual called the Bible that too often people see God's instruction as confining them to lesser the life. But what if you looked at the instructions more like the designer telling you how to get the most out of your life? So the same principle when it comes to the car or a microwave. If you know how to use something, if you know how to clean it, if you know when to do the MOT, when to check it up, that car is gonna, it's gonna last forever. it can do so many miles, it's still going to be in a good condition. There are cars out there who has been on the road for so many years, and it wasn't the accident. Somebody really looked after that car, somebody put the time, and somebody really make sure that that car is drivable. It is the same with us. If we're going to use and abuse our life, it's not going to work well, okay? So you see, when a man pursues a woman and then wins her, he feels as he's attained something very special and will cherish and honor her. On the other hand, when this primal behavior pattern is short-circuited by having sex too early, he feels that she and the relationship with her are not that extraordinary over the price, because he already got it. What he's supposed to be fighting for and proving himself to you, he already got it for nothing. Why now he needs to do anything more than bare minimum? Because you're a woman? Because you deserve it? Because of what? It was many years ago. I knew this girl. She has confessed to me that every single guy is treating her wrong, and every single guy is just using her for sex. So I asked her, why are you allowing them to use you? And she never spoke to me again. Because it's so hard to see that the problem is inside you, not, inside the guys. It's so easy to blame other people. It's so easy to blame the other side and say they are sexist, they are abusing, they're doing this. What do you do to yourself? To your self-esteem, to your respect? How do you present yourself? What do you wear? Are you going out at night? Do you swear? Do you smoke? Do you abuse alcohol? Do you take drugs? Do you do something because other people ask you, not because you feel this is what you want to do? I truly believe that sex is a price, and I don't know if YouTube's gonna remove that line or not, whether they're gonna block that video. I feel the intercourse is a price. It's so easy to get it those days, so easy to get it, but it's so hard to get it right. So it's for both, for you and him, it's worth waiting. And I know that this is so hard to keep this, idea of not sleeping around. I get it. Some of the feminists, or I don't even know how this whole idea started, that sex is for fun. You need to get as much fun in your life as you can, and sleeping with random people is one of the fun these days. And guys used to do it for so long, so now females saying, why we are condemned after doing what they doing. My question is, why you always want to be compared to men? Why? Our life is so beautiful, it's so loving. We can do so much, just relying on that one person, our husband. That's so much freedom in it, rather than sleeping around with random dudes who can give you random diseases and make you randomly pregnant, and saying that this is liberating and saying that this is fun and this is free. Do you know that pleasure in making babies is not the only reason that God has created sex? If you take a look at Genesis 2, you will see that the first two humans God created were a couple, united in marriage. And after the wedding, the God says, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." That whole one flesh part maybe seem a bit weird, maybe a bit, it's a bit too much for somebody, but not everything that's in the Bible you need to take it 100% that. You don't need to give your blood and he doesn't need to give you his blood unless there is a life-threatening situation, okay? But it actually unveils a dimension to sex that is way more than just fun. So it reveals that sex literally transforms your life. God has designed intimacy as a way for couples to outwardly demonstrate their total inward commitment to each other. It connects two people physically, emotionally, and even spiritually for life. With such eternal implication, it's clear to see why God would reserve it only within a marriage convenient. So the bottom line is, He doesn't want you to give this powerful part of yourself to anyone who wouldn't commit themselves to you for the rest of their life. And as you can see around you very clearly right now, people are not committed to one another. They have sex with one person one day, another day they get into a different woman. I've known couples, boyfriend-girlfriend situations when she got pregnant, he promised her to marry her and he has never done it. He went and make pregnant another woman and then another one, and now he doesn't even have enough money to pay for child support. He doesn't have enough time, he doesn't have enough money, and I actually feel like he's not that interested about his kids. What does it tell you? And what's even worse is that the second woman knew about the first one, and the third one knew about the first one and the second one. And somehow those women feel like they are different. They're gonna be better, they're gonna change him, they're gonna do everything in their power to make sure that he's changed man now. And he doesn't even claim them. You see how that works? And I know some of you women, you believe that this is nobody's business. Like, nobody's gonna talk about whether I wanna sleep with somebody or not. This is all my thing. It's my body. It is your body. I agree. I completely and 100% agree. It's your body. You can do whatever the hell you want with your life. But the situation that's happening right now, the freedom that we give to ourselves, that we have been given and we give to ourselves, it's slowly destroying us as a female species. It's slowly destroying the beauty of the marriage, and it's slowly destroying even the men those days. When I talk to some of my friends who are still single, they are afraid. They are afraid to ask some women to go out on a date because the way we claim we are free and spiritual, we can say to a man things that can break a good guy in a heartbeat. And we don't take responsibility for it. We just use those words as they are free, cheap things that you can say nasty words to everybody, and people just need to accept you as who you are. Women without guidance and protection from a smart male figure can actually live their life so wrong, and they can destroy themselves. They can destroy the kids and any person around them. I feel it's dangerous to let some women do what they want, and I think it's so dangerous to allow women to sleep around. It is so dangerous on so many different levels, but I feel like we are not there yet. There are only a certain percent of population who actually see the big disadvantage of this whole feminism, of this whole freedom attitude. But I'm just worried that it's going to be too late until we're all going to wake up. And also what's crazy these days, I've met a few parents who told me, oh, my 16, 17, 18-year-old boy, my son, he's bringing his boyfriend to the house tonight and they're going to be sleeping together. They said it as that would be like something to be proud of, something to be proud about. I simply cannot imagine allowing my kids, whether that's going to be a boy or a girl, before a certain age to even sleep in friend's house. Call me strict, but when I know what's happening out there these days, I'm actually so glad that I've survived my childhood, okay? I'm actually glad. How you can let your 16 or 17 or 18-year-old girl, she's still a girl. I know we're saying that when you're 18 you're an adult, but let me be clear, you're not fully physically and mentally developed, if you like. So let's say you're 16 and 17 and you're already staying in your boyfriend's house, you're already having an intercourse, you already lost something that was so precious to the guy that can't cheat on you the day after with a different woman. Because just because you sleep together, that doesn't mean that you are together. Just because he texts you, I've talked a lot about it in my video number 1. When I advise women certain ways of dating, please don't think like just because he sleeps with you, just because he's saying good morning baby, I love you baby, he's not your man. And I want everybody to understand this, okay? I think we have to put up appropriate boundaries to respect ourselves, to respect our bodies, to respect who we are. And if you want to get that respect, you need to respect yourself first and foremost. Nobody's gonna give you respect if you do something like this or like that. I mean, you know, if you're watching this, what do you think? Would you like to take that girl and, you know, say to your mom, this is my wife? I would be ashamed. I would be ashamed to say that she's my girlfriend, and I would be ashamed to call her my friend, because this is not the friends I want to have. Simple as this. And the most important thing that not a lot of people talks about these days, I think this is like a forgotten thing, that the hormones that's being produced while you have an intercourse, it actually works in the guy's favor, because the way the male has been designed, they can sleep with a woman and they don't necessarily have to develop any bigger feelings unless they allow for it. Okay, so the guy can sleep with you, the guy can sleep with her, the guy can sleep with somebody else. Yes, I think it's gonna destroy his mental capacity of loving one person later on, but that's a different story. I'm talking more about female now, and female psychology, and how our hormones works. Once you sleep with a guy and you can tell me any lie you want. I used to have a friend who said that she can sleep with anybody and she's not getting attached to them, and I think this is one big bollocks. Like, it doesn't work like this. You can tell yourself the truth. Don't tell anything to me or anybody else. Ask yourself, did you really not get attached to that person after giving your most precious thing, after giving your body, after giving your trust to that person? You know, giving trust that he's not gonna harm you in any way, that he's gonna be gentle, that he's gonna so at least you can feel good while doing this. You have to give some sort of trust. Our systems, our hormones, supposed to work in our favors, meaning that when you, for example, when you are married, sometimes you can't be mad on your husband, sometimes you can't be mad on, you know, anybody, like even if you want to call him boyfriends or whatever. As soon as you sleep with that person, you can literally see the change in your friend's eyes when she did that, when she slept with the guy, because one day she was very mad on him and now she's like, no, you know, it's not a big deal. You see what I'm saying? It's supposed to work in our favor, because we shouldn't be fighting too much. And that's why even within the marriage life there are some struggles, there are some misunderstandings, and sometimes when you have intercourse, you feel closer to that person, your body releases the hormones that tells you, you know, you love him, you want to be with him, you trust him. And if you're doing this with the wrong people or with the wrong person, then you are in trouble. It's so different to do it with your husband, and so much different to do it with the random guys who doesn't treat you well, and maybe he's gonna disappear tomorrow or later on. And I think the last thing I want to say is for those who say that I want to do it because otherwise he's gonna go away, then you know he's not right, because you know he will only use you for that one thing. If you're afraid that he's gonna go away because you're not gonna give it to him, you should be 100% certain that he's gonna go away anyway. So weed him out before even you do anything. In sex before marriage can have a profound impact on self-esteem, particularly if the experience is negative or doesn't align with one's expectations. Feelings of guilt, shame, or regret can weigh heavily on self-esteem and self-worth, affecting how an individual perceives themselves. Negative outcomes might lead to questioning personal choices and body image, impacting their overall confidence. I'm gonna stop there. I hope you liked today's video. Please let me know in the comment below, what do you think about it? Do you agree? Would you not agree? I love you all, my angels. Bye.